welcome to Anne Marie's Workshop. My name is Anne Marie and I love to make things with joy. If you like to make things with joy, you have found the right place. Please like, subscribe, and share. This video today is something really fun and something I've wanted to make for a little while now. I'm hoping to recreate the look for the challenge, hashtag recreate the look, or so recreate the look 23. And this challenge is all about finding something that you've wanted to make again, or something you're inspired by, and that you recreate the look, like split the screen and have one thing on one side and one thing on the other side. And I was working on something which I think will hit the mark just right. Now, as some of my subscribers know, I'm a huge movie fan. I sew along to old movies that I love to see again and again, television shows. And I saw the movie, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, and I was blown away by the story, the costume, and all the visuals inside of this movie. So some of my favorite things in this world are teddy bears and bomber jackets. Teddy bears and bomber jackets. You can imagine my delight when, in the course of this movie, along comes a costume where they have incorporated teddy bears and bomber jackets together. And I wanted to recreate that look. Now, last year, my daughter-in-law and son went in costume for Halloween as the sausage finger characters in this Everything Everywhere All at Once movie. And I thought it would be so fun, since they love to do Halloween costumes and they love to dress up, to make them a matching pair of teddy bear jackets inspired by Jeremy Scott. Now, the costume was not made by the costume designer. Now, the costume designer did elect to use that jacket in the movie, but the actual jacket was made by Jeremy Scott for Nike or Adidas. I'll figure. Let me verify that before I put that in this video. Hold on. Yes, it's Jeremy Scott by Adidas, or Adidas, depending upon where you are in the world. So I wanted to recreate this look. I'm hoping it shows over here. So here's the dilemma. I thought, well, what I would do is go on eBay or online and find one of his jackets, and then I could use it. I could touch it, and I could use it to kind of figure out how to make a pattern to recreate a look, a hat, not exactly what he designed. No such luck. The last one sold for $498, and that was a while ago, because the teddy bear hoodie was quite a hit. So I was like, well, what am I going to do? Well, I figured if I break it down into parts, I could recreate this look. Not exact, but close enough. So first thing I had to do was decide on the bomber jacket. I had about 8 or 9 bomber jacket patterns. So I had quite a few to go through, but I ended up deciding to use Mimi G's 8222 Simplicity pattern because it was like a set-in sleeve. And when I examined through Pinterest boards and pictures on the internet, hold on, do this. Yeah, there you go. I discovered that the teddy bear was set in like at the very top of the sleeve cap, and I needed also to find one for my son because broader shoulders. So I don't know exactly how I'm going to work this, but I think he needs a more masculine one because the hoodie in the movie is a midi. It doesn't go all the way down to the waistline. So, but I think it's a cute look. And since it is a costume rather than something that you wear every day. I'm not sure with my kids. Um, I had to make those adjustments. So this was a good second one, set in sleeve. This was a good one also, and I have a few bomber jacket patterns. I have another one by McCall's. So if you decide to recreate yourself, there's lots of bomber jackets out there, but you can't use it off shoulder. You need one that's going to hit about here, so the teddy bear can come off there. Okay, so we've decided on Simplicity 8222. It's still in the pattern books, and now teddy bears. So I have a few teddy bear patterns, but there are also teddy bear patterns that I will link below in the description box that are free and online. I cannot vouch for the size and how they're going to sit on the shoulder. So I had these two patterns. Now, I really love this one because of the snout and these flat feet here, the paws. I really, really liked it, but can't find the inside of the pattern. I think that I made a few of these a long, long time ago. I'm not sure exactly how old this pattern is. Oh yeah, 1986. So I'm missing the inside of this, and I know I made quite a few of these teddy bears. So I decided to go with this more simpler bear. It is Simplicity 8044. It is a two-piece pattern. It is a two-piece pattern. So I figure it offered a bear, a doggy, and a rabbit and a doggy. Now, I do have one with elephants, but I thought that was too much. So I found this roll of ticking at Pings on the clearance section, and I think it's just the sort of thing I can use to make my muslin. I'm not too concerned about the jacket shape because I have made umpteen bomber jackets, but figuring out this sleeve is going to be the biggest part of this recreate. So I am going to cut out a couple of copies of the sleeve for my jacket, bomber jacket, and then I'm going to cut out a couple sizes of my bear and see how they match up and see which ones I can start to use. Now, I cut out two copies of each of these pattern pieces because what I intend to do with the second copy is I'm going to stitch a seam line around the whole pattern piece, trim it to that seam line to shrink the pattern because the bear seems large to me and I don't know if it will work with the sleeve. So I'm going to end up with a bear this size and a bear that is a little smaller and still keep the characteristics of the bear. So I'll let you know which one, you'll see which one I'm going to end up using. Now this is a pretty straightforward bear because it only has two pieces. So just make sure that you line up your notches on your pattern, and it looks like it's a 1/8 stitching seam allowance around the edge. All right, so be careful of that. Don't go with the 5/8. Now, sewing into some of us who are memory challenged, whenever I cut out the back of most any garment, I attach a safety pin to that side, especially when the pieces seem very similar, but they're subtly different. I always use a double notch. I always do my notches on my sleeve caps. Double notch, it's the back of the garment. Single notch, it's the front of the garment. And I also put a safety pin because I can get confused. Now, I'll have to let you know on the men's sleeve, because for the men's jacket, the sleeve looks very large. So we'll see how that works out. Might be just perfect. Now on this pattern, there was an undersleeve. So I overlapped the pattern pieces by 5/8 to give me a complete sleeve. You see the overlap right there? You can see the other pattern underneath, right? All right, to make up for the seam allowance. As I said, I'm not too sure about the men's. I know I need a bigger men's bomber, so if this does not work out in this muslin to do the teddy bear, I might have to look for a men's pattern that is specifically for bombers. I know plenty of pattern companies have them, so that might delay me a little bit. So I think I'm going to stitch the larger bear. I'm going to go take a shower and get ready for the day, and then come back and stitch the larger bear and see if it has the look I'm looking for, has the feel that I'm trying to get in the sleeve of this teddy bear jacket. Time to sew the big bear. is cute, but he's too small. Now, the next part might be too graphic for some of you. It turns out when I examined how the teddy bear was attached to the sleeve, it is only the hands and the feet and the head. So I'm going to have to cut off the head of the teddy bear and the hands and the feet. So if you're not prepared for that, you can fast forward. So those parts were too graphic for this video. So I have 2 feet, 2 hands, and 1 head. And not even all the head, just the front. And then I'm going to cut out some of the back to fit it onto the sleeve. Now it's time to figure out where I'm going to place these. I've cut around the edge of the back of the bear, and I'm going to attach it somewhere near the sleeve because I see in the picture it sticks up above the sleeve cap. So then it's just a matter of figuring out where the arms and the legs fit. Now, as you can see, with some trial and error, I have figured out where the arms should be. Around there, and the feet around here. And I will trim these ovals out and sew them on the inside, and we will see if it works. I feel like the body, the puffiness of the body, I bought some single layer batting that I'm going to use to line the sleeve. And I think that will give it the fullness in the belly. So in order to make sure I had symmetry, I folded it along the halfway point, which was this line right here. You could see like I'd made a few mistakes. And then I chose the opening that I liked the best and trimmed it on that way. So as you can see, the holes didn't line up with my trying to measure it, but they lined up when I trimmed them out. So I chose a side. And that's not the point of the muslin, is to make all these mistakes. And now I know where to place my teddy bear arms and legs. And I know that the holes are, you know, congruent. They're right because I cut them out of the same. But you see the mistakes here. And I did this all with measuring, but still. And that's the point of the muslin. Now, because this is an experimental model, I'm going to baste the arms and legs in place and see if I like the fit. Now it's time to deconstruct the bear, because I have my muslin for the sleeves. No bears were harmed in the creation of this jacket. All right, so now I have my sleeve with the accompanying holes where things should fit. It's on the fold. My hand piece. My front of the bear face. And, and the back of my bear space. And my foot. But I'd like to make some adjustments to this foot. I would like to be able to put a little contrast on the foot pad of my bear so that the contrast color will display right here. So I'm going to have to make some adjustments to this pattern piece. So now I have the ability to have a contrasting foot pad and the leg. Next time we meet, it'll be time to cut out in fashion fabric.